What's up, people? Yu-Gi-Oh 101 discussion video here. Uh, Here we're going to be talking about the forbidden and limited ban list coming in effect March 1st, 2013. This has been confirmed by the YuGiOh website itself, so therefore, it's official. Now, this is my first time looking at the ban list, so anybody who didn't see it, hey, I'm right there with you. This is my first time, um, you know, actually looking at the list. I didn't look at no sneak peeks or no, unconfirmed ban list. This is my first time actually getting a look at what's going to be on the ban list, in March. So, without further ado, um, let's take a look at what's um, happening. So, right now, uh, oh wow, first card that hit the ban list was Sangan. Um, it was limited, but now it's banned. That is amazing. Oh man, well, Sangan is gone, and in a way, I do um agree with this because of the fact, Sangan is a, how can I put it? It is a um generic searcher, cause like it can pretty much search for any monster that has 1500 or less attack, and that is like um regardless of the type of monster it is, or like what attribute it is, or what, you know or you or like, like what level it is. It can search for any monster that has, 1500 or less attack. And if you've been noticing like the pattern, like especially with all these new booster packs that are coming out, and all these new cards that are on their way into the game, you know the monsters that have 1500 or less attack, either they have like a high level, and like they could easily be, uh um uh special summon from the hand, or they have some other type of crazy effects that, that if Sangan was still in the game, I feel, people would be able to take, advantage of that in a very unfair way. So with Sangan hitting the list, I can understand why they would do that. um so next up, we have wind up carrier zenmaity. Wind up carrier zenmaity. Like, let me make sure which one this is. Um, I'm like, if this the one that I think it is, yeah, this is, okay. Well, this should have happened a long time ago, so I'm not even gonna, like, like elaborate on why this hit the list. You know, like this was supposed to be, handled last year when the windups were out of control, and they still are in a sense. So like this was, obviously, like this was, like bound to happen. So I'm not, like really concerned with this. Like I just wonder why the hell they wait so damn late to do it. So yeah, so that's gone. So right now we have Sangan band and Wind Up Carrier Zenmighty band, and those are the only two new cards that will be banned this upcoming format. So the ones that are limited, all right. Oh, okay. So they got Wind Up Magician is limited. That's new to the list. Uh, Again, I can see why they did it. Wind Up Magician is one of those that feeds off of the other effects of the other wind ups, and since the other wind ups are so, you know, are like so easy to, um, get on the field, like with their support cards and such, and, like you can search for them and whatever. you know, wind up magician's own effect activates, and you know, and I believe like that did um needed to be slowed down. So I can see why they did that. Um, one day of peace. Like 1 day of peace. So that's limited. I think that's that card. Like that allows you to like you and your opponent to draw one card, and then let me see what. Yeah, okay. So this is that. Yeah, okay. So basically, like you were just getting draw power, and a lot of people were taking advantage of that. I'm assuming that's why they put it on a limited list, because like your opponent could take advantage of the fact that that you know that no damage would be able to be taken effect until after your turn. So like they would activate the card, it's your turn, and like you wouldn't be able to damage them, but then on their turn, the the damage would like be counted against. So like they'll be able to damage you, but you wouldn't have been able to damage them, and to be able to to be and to have been able to do that, like at multiple times, you know maybe that's the reason why they felt they had to ban it. I mean, not ban it, but like um limited it. This upcoming format, okay, so I understand that. Next up we have ooh oh man, Solemn Warning was semi-limited. It's limited now. Um, I'm not mad at that. Okay, so yeah, moving on. Like I'm not even gonna speak on that one. Okay, so up next we have Thunder King Rai-oh is semi-limited. Thunder King Rai-oh semi-limited was new. Um, yeah, man. Let's see, Tsukuyomi, Thunder King Rai-oh. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna even elaborate on that. Like that's another one that you ain't gotta elaborate on. Tsukuyomi is semi-limited. It was limited. Um, whatever. Uh, advanced ritual art, semi-limited. Whatever. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, like advanced ritual art isn't even, you know, like it's really just whatever with that card. Tsukuyomi, like I kind of feel the same way about this. Uh, for, wait a minute. First, let me take a look at the effect of this, because I haven't seen this card in like a while. So, like I really got to refresh myself with it. Um, cannot be special summoned during the end phase of this turn. This card is normal summon, flip summon a face up, and return to the hand. When this card is normal, excuse me. When this card is normal summon or flip face up, target one face up monster on the field. Change that target to face down defense position. So a card that has a Book of Moon you know effect that can't be special summoned. So that's really whatever with Thunder King Rai-oh. Uh, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? So let's see which ones are no longer on the ban list. So we have Lumina the Lightsworn Summoner. That's good for the exceeds, I guess you can say, for the Lightsworns. Like they have something for that. Shien Smoke Signal. Nobody's really playing Six Samurais anymore with all these other archetypes, and besides, everybody that was playing Six Samurais, you know, at the time that they were running rampant, pretty much on 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 the the prophecy's dick now. Because of divine judgment, the spell book. Like they really won't be even be worrying about six samurais. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. Those type of people, they always go to whatever can get them the easiest win and has like the cheapest learning curve, and that's pretty much what those six samurai users are going to do. They're going to move on to the prophecies, and they're going to dick ride that until it, divine judgment, the spell books get uh, it gets banned. Mind crush, that's whatever. Spore, hooray for plants. Uh, Blackwing, Kalut, the Moon Shadow. I don't really understand as to why it was, on the list that it was previous to this. I don't understand why it was semi-limited to begin with. But like I guess at the time, they felt it needed to happen or whatever. But you know, overall, I kind of agree with this list. Like like a lot of the things that should have happened. Um, like such as this wind up carrying zenmaity. Like this was one of those cards that I even spoke of last year. And you guys can even see my uh, uh, videos on the September uh, um, 2012 ban list. Like predictions that either Wind Up Hunter, Wind Up Rat, or Wind Up Zenmaity needed to get banned, and they, like I said, like they're doing this kind of late. You know, I didn't think Wind Up Hunter was that much of an issue because you couldn't even use their effects without Zenmaity and like Rat. So really, only Wind Up Rat and Wind Up Zenmaity were the only two problems, and like they had to ban one of them. And again, like I said before, they did it too late. You know, I heard that it was a leak ban list, which I don't really pay attention to because like they pretty much do that every year. Like there's always that one early leak ban list that isn't true, and it's really just out there, like only just to cause confusion. And they said that this card right here, YuGiOh Guardian, was like limited. And again, like I'm gonna speak on that in another video. Um, but yeah, like overall, I do agree with this ban list. Sangan, this was actually thinking ahead by Konami, which they don't really do too much of. So I gotta give them props for that because they do have cards that will be coming into the game that Sangan would be able to take advantage of. You know what I mean? And those cards are pretty powerful. And like they didn't want to give players the opportunity to use like such a you know you know a a searcher that really didn't have any restrictions, really. Like there's monsters coming in the game that has 1500 and less attack that have some pretty powerful effects, and for you to be able to search for those so easily with a card like Sangan, like that would be pretty crazy. So, like I said, with Sangan being banned, this was actually thinking ahead on Konami's part. So I really have to give them props for that. Wind up carrying Zenmaity, we all knew this was gonna happen with either Rat or Zenmaity. So that was a pretty much gimme, but like that's a little bit late on their part. You know what I mean? That's something that should have happened last year. As far as Wind Up Magician being limited, I agree with that. That kind of slows them down. One day a piece. You don't need three of that. Solemn Warning, limited. Thank God. Um, uh, Thunder King Rai-oh, that's whatever. Advanced Ritual Art, who gives a damn? Shien Smoke Signal, Six Samurais aren't a threat like that anymore. So they can go ahead and like they can get their smoke signal. Mind Crushers, whatever. Spore, whatever. Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner, like they needed to do this, like for the sake of exceeding. Uh, and this was pretty much like one of the better cards, like in the Blackwing archetype. And like I said, like it's not that big of an issue anymore because like nobody really plays Blackwings now, even though like they still are a very good archetype. You know, I don't really see too many people using it. You say declare one card name. If that card is in your opponent's hand, name, yeah, what's the card? Oh well, at least the Dark Worlds have something to like uh, um to really take advantage of. I guess you can say. In Mind Crush, Spore, not an issue. Uh, it wasn't a big problem. Like the main thing that made Plant so dominant was that glow up bulb, in my opinion. Like as well as some other cards that are now limited. So spores, whatever. But yeah, overall, I really do agree with this ban list. Like they did some things right. Thank you, Konami. You know, thank you, Konami. And even though I've already spoken on it, I'm really impressed with this. Like with Sangan, being banned. I really am. You know, props to Konami for doing something, man. For actually thinking ahead. So like I said, this is the official ban list. This is on the Konami's you know, website. You can see the website right there, YuGiOhCard.com. The Forbidden and Limited list effective March 1st. So there you go. Uh, like I will have the link to this card, um, a link to this list, in the video description. And for those who may be confused as to what is what, I will also, list, like which cards are banned, and like which cards are limited, which cards got semi-limited, which cards are now unlimited. So, like for those who aren't able to like read the list too good. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.